You've seen those labels everywhere, right? On your coffee cup, on your takeout container. Biodegradable. Eco-friendly. They feel good. They feel like a solution. But what if that simple promise is actually a lot more complicated?
We've been told that a new generation of plastics can fix our massive pollution problem. But today, we're going to dig a little deeper, past the marketing, and find out if that's the whole story.
Let's just start with one number, just to set the stage. 8.3 billion. That's how many tons of plastic we, as a species, have made since the 1950s. And yeah, most of it is now waste.
Okay, let's get into it. First up, what some people are calling our plastic pandemic. We need to understand the incredible scale of this white pollution. So here's the fundamental problem. Traditional plastics, they're designed to be immortal. They never really truly disappear. Instead, sunlight and friction just break them down into smaller and smaller and smaller pieces. We call them microplastics, and they have now infiltrated literally everything. Our water, our soil, even our own bodies. So, faced with that crisis, a totally new way of thinking started to emerge. What if, instead of making things to last forever, we design them to just disappear? That's the big idea here. And this really shows that shift. For decades, we've lived in a linear economy. You take resources, you make something, and then you throw it away. Simple. The goal now is to move to a circular economy. One that actually works like nature, where there is no waste. You just eliminate, circulate, and regenerate. The ultimate vision is to work with the planet's natural cycles, not constantly fight against them. It's a really profound change from trying to conquer nature to, well, collaborating with it. So what are these magical materials? We call them biodegradable plastics. You might see names like PLA, PBA, or PHA. A lot of them are bio-based, which just means they come from plants, things like corn or sugarcane starch. And the theory is pretty simple. Under the right conditions, microbes can actually eat these plastics, breaking them all the way down into harmless stuff like CO2 and water. Now, don't think these are some flimsy, useless substitutes. No way. Materials like PLA and PBT have been engineered to have properties just like the traditional plastics we use every day. Some are hard and clear. Others are flexible and strong. They're designed from the ground up to be real, functional replacements. And because they're so functional, the ways we can use them are incredibly diverse. Let's look at a few examples. From something as simple as a cup to, believe it or not, life-saving medical tech. Okay, so in daily life, you'll see them in food packaging or maybe those disposable utensils. But in agriculture, they're a total game changer. Farmers can use these biodegradable films and then, after the harvest, just till them straight into the soil. It saves a ton of work, sure, but it also stops plastic residue from building up and hurting crop yields over time. But get this, the applications go way beyond farming and food. I was blown away to learn they're used in high-tech medicine. This is a coronary stent. It's made from PLA. It's designed to hold a blocked artery open just long enough for the body to heal itself, and then it just dissolves. It's safely absorbed by the body, which means no need for a second risky surgery to remove a metal one. Pretty amazing. All right, that all sounds incredible. Which leads to the obvious question. If this stuff is so great, why isn't everything made from it? And that brings us to the hidden catch. And this is probably the biggest misunderstanding out there. You see that word biodegradable and you think, great, I can just toss this in my garden compost, or if it accidentally blows into a river, it'll just vanish, right? Well, for almost all of these products, the answer is a hard no. Biodegradable doesn't mean your backyard. It means a special industrial composting facility. A place with sustained high heat, we're talking 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, and a very specific soup of microbes. And here's the reality, most towns and cities simply don't have these facilities. Then there's the money. A ton of old-school plastic might run you about $1,200, but a ton of biodegradable PLA or PBAT, you're looking at closer to $3,800. That's more than 3 times the price. For most companies, that's a massive, massive hurdle. And there's one more sneaky problem: fake products. It is so important to know the difference between true biodegradable stuff and what you could call pseudo-degradable. These fakes are often just regular plastic with chemicals added to make them crumble into little pieces.
They don't actually disappear. They just become microplastics faster, which could actually make the pollution problem even worse. So, all of this, it means we have to rethink the whole cycle. The answer isn't as simple as just swapping out one material for another. We have to look at the entire system.
A real solution isn't just one thing. It's a whole system approach. It means actually building the composting facilities we need. It means innovating to get those costs down. It means creating clear, tough standards to get those fake eco-products off the shelves. But, maybe the most important piece of the puzzle is just reducing how much single-use stuff we use to begin with.
And that leads to a conclusion you see again and again in the research. The most attractive solution to plastic pollution is not just finding a replacement, but focusing on source control and reduction. In other words, the best way to deal with trash is to not make it in the first place.
So that leaves us with one last really challenging question. Are we just trying to find a better, less guilty disposable product? Or do we need to start questioning our entire disposable culture itself? Figuring that out, that's the real key.